Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon X and Y narrated Wi-Fi battle video. It has been quite some time since I've done one of these, mainly because I gave priority to the analysis series when the games first came out, but I am back with a bunch of new battles. Still got a camera recording because I don't have a capture card. It is just way too expensive for me. It is completely out of my price range right now, so you do have to bear with this for a while, but you know, it still is a good battle regardless of what the video looks like in my opinion, so that shouldn't discourage you all from watching it at all. But anyways, this battle is against an opponent by the name of Xavier. He goes by a different name on Twitch and on YouTube. I don't remember what it is, so if you are watching this video right now, just tell me what it is and I will edit the description. But the interesting thing about the team that I am using is this is not actually my team. This is a team that was sent to me by a user by the name of Marcel Voss, and it is also very cool because most of the sets that he is using are ones that he created himself, which are very cool and unique in a lot of different ways. We got a Shedinja, a Chandelure, a Mega Venusaur, a Mienshao, a Dragonite, and a Cavagrius on my side, whereas my opponent decided to bring a Mega Lucario, a Garchomp, a Porygon, a Victini, a Sylveon, and a Galvantula. So there's lots of really awesome things on both sides of the field, so we'll just kick things off by jumping into this battle right now. So to start things off, I'm going to lead off with my Shedinja, or Marcel's Shedinja, as my opponent leads off with his Galvantula. Now, knowing Galvantula typically does not have anything to hit Shedinja, I am free to stay in right here and just go for an attacking move, which I choose to go for the X-Scissor. It's going to do a really good chunk of damage to this Galvantula as he does set up the Sticky Web. Now, me predicting him to actually go into his Garchomp right here, because if I actually attack him and he has rough skin, I'm actually going to die. I decided to switch up my moves, go for a Will-O-Wisp to potentially burn that. He actually goes into his Porygon 2 though, which is just fine for me as well because this will allow me to wear this thing down slowly throughout battle. However, now because I know he brought this in, he obviously has a status move. That would be the only reason he brought this thing in. So I am free to just bring in my Mienshao right here to take the Toxic, which I predicted, and also potentially hit this thing super effectively, because as you saw right there, he actually traced Wonder Guard, and that would be a very big problem for my team had I not have this Mienshao. But knowing he has to switch right now, I decided to go for the Poison Jab, predicting him to actually go into a Sylveon, hitting that super effectively, but he actually goes into his Galvantula instead, and it goes down, which is really great for me, because that Pokemon actually outspeeds Mienshao, and that would have been a problem had I not taken it down right there. But he brings in his Garchomp right now, and because of how he brought it in, I am assuming at this point that he is Choice Scarfed. So I'm going to go into my Cavagrius to take whatever attack he wants to go for. Goes for an Earthquake. It only does, I think, 46 damage, which is not a lot at all. And that's actually just going to be really great because he's now going to be forced to switch out. And because I know that he doesn't want to take a Will-O-Wisp, he's going to want to go into the one thing on his team that is already statused, so I actually pull a double switch right here out into my Venusaur, knowing that he cannot actually touch Venusaur with his Porygon 2. This Venusaur was EV'd by Marcel to be max HP and max special defense, because as you're going to see in a second, this is actually a cursing Venusaur. And I know that Porygons typically have the Ice Beam, but because I'm going to Mega Evolve right here, I'm going to get the Thick Fat ability, which is now going to make me able to pretty much take those very easily, because they're pretty much not going to be super effective, even though it says that it is. It really isn't because of how Thick Fat works. But yeah, so I'm going to go for an Earthquake first turn, expecting him to actually go into Victini right there, but he decided not to. He decided to recover, and because he stayed in, I'm like, well, free Curse. So I'm going to go for a Curse right here. This is a physical attacking Venusaur, as you can see right here, because I'm boosting my physical attack and my defense, and I don't really care about the Sticky Web because I'm also simultaneously lowering my speed anyway. So I'm going to get up 2 curses right here as he goes into his Garchomp, and I'm figuring, well, I can obviously take a hit from this thing because I'm at +2 defense, and he actually, you know, surprises me here by going for a Draco Meteor. It's not unheard of on Garchomp to pack this, but I just was not expecting it right here, so I just go for the Synthesis, which is actually going to allow me to recover off any health that I would have taken that turn. If he did go for Outrage or something, I would have recovered that off as well. But now he actually makes a very interesting play here by going for the Swords Dance. I'm not sure why you would try to set up on a Pokemon that has already set up, but I'm easily just going to be able to take that out with a Power Whip, which is going to be really great for me because that thing is going to go down. Now he's going to bring in his Victini here, but again, because of the Thick Fat ability, I am not worried in the slightest about this Pokemon going for the V-Create, because I could just take it out with an Earthquake because I'm at +2 defense. Even if that Victini is banded, I'm pretty sure I could live it from that amount of health. So I go for an Earthquake, and it does actually still only a little bit of damage to this Porygon 2, but he's going to go for the Recover right here, and Earthquake being an unstab move is not going to be very powerful, but Power Whip is going to be more than enough to take it out after I go for one more curse, just because I have the opportunity to, so I might as well. So I'm now at +3 attack and defense and -4 speed, I believe. He goes for another Ice Beam. Again, I'm max special defense and I have thick fat, so that's not going to do anything, and I'm just going to be able to easily take out this Porygon 2 now with a Power Whip. So this Venusaur is doing quite a bit of work right now. I promise you this is not the entire battle. A lot of crazy stuff happens after this, which surprised the heck out of me and made this a lot closer than it might be looking right now. But he goes into his Lucario right here, decides to Mega Evolve, and then goes for the Flash Cannon, which was something I was not even remotely expecting. Even on special Lucarios, I don't think you typically run Flash Cannon, but because it is adaptability boosted and also hitting my special defense, which is not boosted, it actually is going to do enough damage to bring it into a range where now Victini is able to come in and go for the V-Create to take me out, which is obviously going to be more than enough at that range. But here, this is now going to give me a free opportunity to pretty much go into whatever I want to, because he now has lowered speed and also lower defenses, so I figured why not just go into Capagarous right here. I know he has to switch because he doesn't want to take a Shadow Ball, so I actually predict this nicely, go for the Will-O-Wisp on the Sylveon, which is going to be really good. Can potentially pack Heal Bell to get rid of that, but it's still good for the time being, and also he has to go for the Heal Bell, which wastes a turn if he does want to go for it, so I still feel like I'm at an advantage in this situation. However, here he reveals that he does have the Shadow Ball, which is going to hit me super effectively, but I also have a Shadow Ball of my own, and that actually does a bit more damage than I was expecting it to, which leads me to believe at this point that this is sort of a more offensive Sylveon, which is something you don't see too often. But he's just going to take me out with a Moonblast right here, and I figured, you know, it's a Sylveon, typically they're defensive, even when they're offensive they don't run speed, they usually run HP, so I'm going to outspeed the Sylveon even after the Sticky Web because Mienshau's really fast, and this is a max speed Jolly Mienshao. But it turns out this Sylveon actually is running speed as well, so it's going to outspeed me after the Sticky Web, which took me completely by surprise. I was not expecting that to happen whatsoever. So now I'm actually forced to bring in my Chandelure. This is Scarfed, so I will outspeed even after the speed drop from the Sticky Web, taking out the Sylveon right here, and then he's going to bring in his Victini, and me not wanting to have to take an attack I don't have to, I decided to actually switch out into the Dragonite right here, and this Dragonite is a very, very interesting set. You're going to see in a second. I actually have Dragon Rush on this, or Marcel put Dragon Rush on this, because this is actually a special attacking Dragonite, EV'd in special attack and speed, I believe. It has Hone Claws to boost your accuracy and physical attack, and then it has 3 other moves, Dragon Rush being one, because obviously Dragon Rush misses more often than not, so you have the Hone Claws to boost your accuracy and your attack to hit really hard with that, and then it also has Hurricane to go off of your flying type special stab, and then Fire Blast as well for some really good coverage. But that is going to be enough to take out my opponent right there. I actually hit both of my Dragon Rushes, which is really nice, and it gives me the victory in the battle. So thank you, Xavier, for challenging me, and obviously thank you, Marcel, for the team. It was a lot of fun to use, and you got some really awesome stuff going on with that team. If you would like to battle me, the best place to do this is on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Rykard3. There is a link for that in the description, so if you follow me on that, you'll be notified when I do go live and stream. And I do try to stream as often as possible, and I usually also post a video on my YouTube channel as well to let you all know when I'm streaming if you would like to battle me over Wi-Fi. Also, if you would like to submit a team for me to use over Wi-Fi, I would be more than happy to do that as well, and I will obviously get you your Pokemon back at the earliest convenience. I still have his right now, but I'm going to send them to him as soon as I see him online so that he can get these back, because I'm sure he wants to keep them. But I think this is actually a lot of fun to do, because when you play with another person's team, it forces you to play differently than you normally would if you created the team, because you typically have your own style of playing, whereas the person that might send you a team might have another. So you're forced to play in a different style, which is a really good learning experience for you. And it also helps out the person that made the team, because they get to see how someone else might use the Pokemon that they created to be used in combination with one another. So it's a really awesome thing in both ways, and I would love to do more of this if you would like to send me your teams to use for future Wi-Fi battles. But anyways, everybody, that is it for this video. So as always, thank you all for watching, and as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.